5 more clients minimum?
I think maybe definitely, if possible, so eventually.
Hey, one's big enough, just one.
5 new clients minimum.
Completing, ironing out the catalog, that way we can present it to new clients, have it ready for Magic. Those are 2 key goals for this year.
So at least the deposit can take care of like the sampling process and make sure they're like, you know, committed to this order and can't just back out. There's a lot of things that like we can do in those that alleviate all of those questions.
Yeah.
We just had our 2025 soon pro dev kickoff meeting, kind of just formalizing with the team and strategizing growth and, you know, kind of laying out the foundation of what this year looks like, while also kind of grooming each person in their individual roles and what they really want to do in this company. Part of the growth factor isn't just about growing the business, it's also growing internally and understanding like standardizing roles, as well as just allowing people to grow into their leadership roles that they want to be a part of, because that kind of stems into like the happiness of the culture of everyone on a team. I saw like a podcast, or I was watching an excerpt of a podcast from like the CEO of Netflix, and he pretty much talked about like your company is basically built like a professional sports team. You basically, every single player has their individual roles that are obviously like adding to the grand factor. And in order for you to get to like the finals and win the championship, like everyone needs to contribute at a high level so that you can have, you know, obviously you're gonna have your bench players and things like that. But as a team right now, these are our star players, our starting players. So we gotta make sure everyone loves what they're doing.
I feel like I've made that analogy on this channel.
You have?
I feel like I have.
Holy shit.
Like about, yeah, your team is like, you know, like we're the head coaches.
Yes.
And
yes.
our team are the players.
Damn.
I feel like I've said that before.
You think like the CEO of Netflix?
Boy,
that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Think like a CEO, hell yeah.
Netflix are scumbags, so.
No, yeah, I think it was really important. You know, we have these kickoff meetings. I know we had our goals meeting with, you know, me, Daniel, Austin, and Kevin. But it's important to translate these goals to the team, right? And have these meetings and let the team know what the goals are, what the expectations are. And then on the other hand, we grew so rapid last year with this department of our business that we're just adding people in, kind of throwing them in the mix, like, hey, train them up, let's go. Like, you know, because we just had so much going on. It was really important for us to take a step back and then have the team actually explain their roles, what they enjoy about their roles, what they don't enjoy. That way, 1, we know where people can align with what we're doing, and then 2, the rest of the team can understand who's responsible for what. That way, they don't feel like they need to either overstep or, you know, take on responsibilities that they shouldn't be. So it was really important for everybody. I think everybody has a good grasp now of what each individual person does, what their role is in the business. And then everybody gave really great feedback on how we could, you know, provide a better service, which is ultimately, it's not just me and Daniel at the end of the day deciding, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. It's really important to us that our team pitches in, right? You know, we give them that ownership of their responsibility, this job really, and like making an impact on our business and the growth, and really empower them to, you know, make decisions and give us feedback or let us know what they think we can do better. So I think that just, you know, creating that really collaborative effort really is a great way to elevate your business, because then, you know, everybody's more involved, they enjoy it more, they want to be a part of it, they want to see success, and you know, that's at the end of the day really important for us, is their happiness and all that. So we laid out a lot of great goals. Everybody is aligned. We're going to crush it in 2025. We're going to release this new catalog with a bunch of great styles. That's honestly going to be a game changer for our business, and honestly kind of reshape what catalog even means in the industry, because a lot of these catalogs suck, man, and we're trying to like be the first ones that are really doing like catalog pieces that people actually want, and that's a huge goal for us, and really stepping on the scene in that front. And yeah, and just honestly, everybody has their personal goals within our company, and We want to take our team to China to, you know, experience what production is like on the physical front. You know, right now it's a lot of just Zoom calls. They've only met our China team over calls, and they only submit designs, right? They just design it, they submit it. They don't really understand the ins and outs of what goes into the actual production process. So one of the reasons we want to do this is because if our team is physically there seeing the way garments are made and things like that, then they can understand on their end with their responsibility. It just helps them improve their process because now they're thinking and understanding what goes on, you know, at the very beginning of the garment creation. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really great 2025.
Yeah, the China piece was, for us, like in the beginning, when we went last year, was it April last year, right? We didn't really have expectations of what would happen, but then we've realized like head on how impactful it can be on your inspiration as a whole, and the enjoyment in the process. And you know, Derek and I have been in e-com clothing brands for years, like almost a decade, and we've never been to China, right? We've never seen so much of it in person and just being a part of it. And we definitely understand that if we are to build a long-term relationship with all of our people, if we believe that they want to be here long-term and vice versa, it's important that they see the entire life cycle of everything. Then they have a better appreciation of everything. Plus, like Derek said, like we're giving them more ownership of the entire process, and just allowing them to be leaders within their own roles. So as we continue to grow this company, you know, and we hire more, they're gonna have people under them that they're gonna be directing. And so overall, like this, you know, China, honestly, it changed my life in terms of just everything that has happened. And, you know, business grew exponentially because we went to China. So it was just like such a great compound effect of everything that happened last year. And now it's like, now that we're standardizing our processes, we're fine-tuning the roles within the company, we know what type of clients we want, and we know the direction we want to head as a company, it's time to take the entire product development team to there as well, and just be on the same page as us, like as a whole, right? Like in a lot of ways, in the businesses that Derek and I have been a part of in the past, like, you know, there's always only a couple of people that get to experience everything. And we always say that we're different, and we always say we care about our people. And I think this is just another step in really delivering the things that we really value, which is people, the relationships as a whole. And, you know, like it's great that we get to scale the business and grow it and whatever, but if our team doesn't have a full, I guess, attendance of everything that happens, then they don't really feel whole, right? Like they just feel us coming back from China and they're like, oh, it's great, it was awesome, like it was sick. But until they get to really experience it with us firsthand, they really won't understand how amazing and life-changing it is.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing Daniel touched on in our meeting earlier was that like the level of creativity that just being there can spark, right? So seeing the different technologies and abilities that, you know, we may not see because one, the supplier may not have, they just may not have thought that we would want that for our client, right? Or they're requesting that. So just being able to see the whole layout of all the different abilities, the fabrics, the trims and capabilities that they can do is, you know, that will just start getting the ball rolling. And especially with, you know, design is a creative process, right? And allowing them to understand all the different capabilities they have will just empower them to be a lot more creative in their design process. So I think that we're really excited about that too.
Yeah, plus we got some big fucking goals this year. Like last year we developed probably close to 400 styles in total. Like this year, across all brands, I think will be a little over 2,000, maybe even more. So it might be 3,000 styles by the end of this year. So we need a lot of, you know, hands on deck and just, you know, fuck it. Why not take everybody to China and experience this and grow the business together? So, yeah.
A lot of big things on the horizon.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Dude, how the fuck are you not cold?
All right, so question.
What's up? Would you rather have it be 100 degrees out here or 30 degrees?
Ooh, that's a good one. 100. Yeah, I'd rather be in the heat, not gonna lie.
I feel like that's a typical Texas person answer.
I just got done from being sick because I got cold. So yeah, I'd rather be in the heat than in the winter. The only time I'll ever enjoy the winter is if I'm at home. Dude, I'm working right now. I'm not trying to work in this cold ass weather.
Would you rather work in 100 degrees or 30 degrees? And why?
100.
You rather work in 100 degrees too?
Well, 100
Y'all
degrees
crazy.
wide. Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, degrees, because I can take off clothes and sweat, and it's good for the cut. This way, I'm freezing. I can't do nothing about it but put on clothes. I'm rigid. And I can barely move.
Would you rather work in 100 degree heat or 30 degree cold weather?
Ooh, cold weather. Definitely cold weather.
Yeah. Everyone out there said they would rather work in 100 degree heat.
No, because once it gets 100 degrees, like we're like stripping layers off, and then there's nothing else we can do. But once it's cold out there, we can like layer up. I got thermals.
That's what I said.
So
and then you take it off
and then you take it off. You're good. You can come inside and like warm up a little bit. But once it's hot, it is hot out there. Very hot.
All right.
was goody.
This vote decides it.
All right, let's listen.
Would you rather work in 100 degree heat or 30 degree cold?
30-degree cold for sure. You can always bundle up, but if you're hot, I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't take off more clothes. Like, I'm definitely being able to bundle up in the 30-degree cold. Even though here's the real thing. The cold only lasts for like a week or two here. The summer lasts for like 6 months. That's why it's really tough. But I'll take bundling up.
All right, good morning. It is Monday, Martin Luther King Day actually, but we are here in office. The plan was to do a half day today, but it's looking like we're gonna get hit 6 inches of snow tomorrow, which is kind of an anomaly here in Texas, especially South Texas. So when that happens, the city shuts down, for lack of a better word. So we will probably have to take the day off tomorrow, just for safety reasons. We don't want our employees driving into work. A lot of them live 30, 45 minutes. Most people commute here. So we will probably, those that can work from home, and then we will close the building tomorrow. So kind of dealing with that. It's happened a few times already. Like I said, Houston doesn't really react well. When there's snow, like we don't have the proper equipment to clear roads and, provide safe environment for people to drive. So from our end, we try to avoid that. Make sure nobody's on the roads and everybody's safe. So kind of dealing with that this morning already, trying to figure some things out. We had a lot of plans this weekend. We had some people coming in for PO demos and things like that. So now we're just trying to reschedule and rework that. We have some other people coming in for this new client we have, pretty big brand that we're helping. So we're supposed to meet with them. They actually get here today. We were kind of worried that trip may have had to get booked or rescheduled. So they're coming, so that's going to be the bulk of our day today. So yeah, talking about growth. I know this video is about growth and how we have been growing. I think we've spoken about it, but a lot of our growth does come from our social medias, putting these videos out there, Daniel putting his videos out there. That is like our main bread and butter of how we've been able to get business, but that's not the only way that we get business. We also get a lot of business from referrals, right? So just the network that Daniel and I have built up within our industry over the past 10 years, we've gotten a lot of referrals just from people knowing who we are, how we do business. They know somebody who needs help, they reach out, we see if it's a good fit and then move on from there. Also referrals from our current clients or referrals from other people that we have just met along this journey. And yeah, I think it's really important. Relationships are our number one key focus, right? We want to make sure we're treating people right, doing right by our clients. For example, we have had a few clients who have, had to either shut down and move out, or, they needed to move their business back into house because they weren't happy with how they were performing. So they needed to kind of step back and refocus on their side of the business, and 3PL just didn't make sense at this time.
treating those people with dignity and respect, right? So we don't just throw all their stuff in a pallet and just ship it back like looking like shit. We, take the time to box it up properly, build a packing list, make it look nice, and they receive it and they're like, wow, these guys, even though we're leaving them, they actually, did a good job of like giving us our inventory in a very nice way, right? So like little things like that, just you build trust over time. Now these people, even though they're not using us, may refer us to somebody else. So I'm going off on a tangent, but I think, relationships, people, referrals, that's another huge way for us to get business. Another thing that we've been trying is expos. So we've gone to a few expos. We're going to plan on going to a few more this year, just kind of walking around, talking to people, meeting people, letting people know who we are, what we're about. Because at the end of the day, there's thousands of 3PLs that you can work with. And I think really what separates, most are the people. Because at the end of the day, it's, do I want to work with these people? Do I trust these people and their team to handle my product? So if people are comfortable with you and who you are, then they're more likely to utilize your services. So I think that's honestly like the number one thing for most businesses is the people behind them, right? Like if you don't have a good team or people don't get a good vibe from you or somebody on your team, then that's not it's likely that they're not going to work for you or work with you. So getting out, meeting people in person, showing people who we are. That's another reason why we do this YouTube, is to show people who we are behind the business and give people an idea of who they will be working with and how we operate. And like I said, we try to get business in more unorthodox ways, right? We're not like running ads. We're not doing magazine publishing. We're not, cold calling people, cold emailing, things like that. I just feel like the way we're doing it is a little bit, like I said, more personable, right? So we want to get in front of people and show people who we are. We don't want somebody to click on an ad and like, find us that way. And honestly, how many people are looking for 3PL through an ad anyway, right? So, we have some ideas in mind. We're going to keep trying new methods and things like that. And I'm going to keep going to networking events. We had a alumni networking event a few times here in Houston. I've gone to both of them and have made some great connections. So one of them was actually a connection with Carrie Colbert of Curate Capital. Her partner actually came by and visited us last week, and they do a lot of venture-backed businesses. So they invest in a lot of startups, they invest in a lot of businesses, and part of that comes with referring these businesses to trusted vendors. So they wanted to kind of vet us and see if we could be a trusted vendor for referrals. So meeting people like this, building good relationships, good partnerships, I think goes a long way. So if you are in any kind of business, just make sure you're networking, meeting people, getting out in front of people, letting them know what you and your business are about. And I think that will really go a long way.